Much Allah, my brothers. Where were you when the baby game hit the towers? I was here, wearing my nice vest, ready to praise Allah with my life. Like this. But for real, Big Hops came out like a week ago, and it's a very strong game release, especially for a baby gamer like me. Apparently, it's kind of difficult considering. Well, I thought that because PC gamers are not used to 3D platformers, at least not as much as those Nintendoids. So I think it makes perfect sense that this game is considered quote unquote difficult. At least I saw someone complaining on one of the reviews, which I thought was kind of funny. This game has such fluid movement, and it genuinely provides a lot of innovations to the 3D platform genre. Case point one, it has the Breath of the Wild climbing mechanics, and they give you more things to work with. A lot of the problems or a lot of the lameness and uniqueness from Breath of the Wild was how static and limited you were. You were looking around for platforms to rest on constantly. Whereas in this game, there's all these consumable items that they sort of hand out frequently, or you could sort of buy them at shops. You can go pretty wild with your puzzle solutions. Like, there's an acorn that you get, and you throw it on the ground, and it spawns a giant tree that you can climb up out of any walls or platforms. Another one is a cactus that will always shoot out a horizontal level with the ground or parallel with the ground rope, and you can throw down a bunch of ropes everywhere and jump from rope to rope. That is super cool and unique. I haven't seen good consumables ever, honestly. I guess Dark Souls with the Estus flask or stuff that you get back from using a bonfire, because nothing is more lame than an item that, oh, I might need this for the final boss, so I better hoard it. Than something that says, screw that, you get more resources at every breakpoint. That is fun. It's You can feel the devs are passionate about the game, how smooth it plays, how fluid the movement is. You can get really fast. There's the movement takes a little bit to get a hang of, and you'll see that when you get to like a rabbit race where they're trying to teach you how to do the standard combo of jumping, diving, recover, jump, dive. Uh, you'll be doing that the whole game because it feels so fucking good. Just gain so much speed and go across like canyons, and you have like your tongue is used like a grapple hook, so you can swing and get more momentum that way and go really far. The wall running is not as useful as you'd think, but this game has a lot of options for ways you can solve the puzzles or the platforming, which is really refreshing. I am so sick of like those rage precision platformers where you have one way you're expected to do this and you gotta grind the jump out or do it a certain way that the game devs intended. The music largely is pretty good. I am shocked for how much voice acting is in this game, considering it appears to be the devs' first game. It's a pretty small studio. They have one big name that you've probably heard all over the place. Another thing I love is this is a true-hearted kids game. There's no weird furry artists on the dev team trying to put their weird dragon fetish or anthro furry art. No, these look like just normal cartoon characters that you can just look past. There's nothing sexualized about them. I don't even think the dialogue is really cringy. It's just normal cartoony dialogue, which is refreshing. They don't do that anymore. Someone's always trying to push some kind of agenda with the dialogue or character designs. or doing other irritating things for someone who can notice the patterns. The game is pretty long for what I can tell. I am about 8 hours into it. I may have burnt a few days with my Tarkov addiction. I'm sorry, I can stop heroin anytime I want. I just don't want to right now. The upgrades you can get for collecting items is they're pretty good. Or there's various badges. I guess there's a limited amount of them, or at least you get so many ring slots on your backpack to put on these rings that you're just gonna slap them all on, or at least for what I could tell, the rings aren't necessarily that exciting. They're useful, like extra consumable slots or slower stamina drain on climbing, but you're never really gonna switch them out once you get like 8 good ones slotted in. Just fine. It's a 30 platformer, not like a Souls-like, dude. You don't need variety of builds. As long as the movement's good, the game runs good, and so you have fun and engaging platforming. Some of the like another plant or I guess consumable I ran into very recently is you can throw it and it spawns a sphere of water lodged anywhere, and it's more like an anti-gravity field, but it's essentially water. You jump into it, you start swimming, and you can just throw these anywhere and make a water bridge. They have grenade jumping in this as well for one of the consumables. The devs have played a lot of games. There's a Crestfallen Warrior reference. One of the NPCs makes, oh yeah, horrified. Oh, it's Dark Souls. I saw it. I pointed. I'm like, oh, it's just like Dark Souls. And then he does the which that kind of made me laugh. The dialogue's been fine. It has, believe it or not, the second level has a oil company that's, I mean, they're portrayed as the big evil guys of the chapter, and towards the end they actually make like a maybe it's a tongue-in-cheek joke, or maybe it's the devs trying to paint like a neutral picture. They directly address the issue of like, you are a frog trying to get back home. You need these 3 airship parts, and you go through all this pollution and hassle to repair like an oil rig in the ocean so you can talk to the CEO and eventually get this airship part. And the CEO guy seems kind of chill, and he's like, yeah, we might even be able to get you that airship part ourselves. And, you know, the guy you've been talking to has actually been kind of crazy and needs to go down. And they directly quote something along the lines of, yeah, I know I get the whole big evil corporation thing, but at least, you know, we can help you out for this one thing. And I thought, God damn, you could have done a lot, like 1,000 more things that would have been some leftist annoying propaganda, but you didn't. And that is charming. Or it ups. My expectations were shocked, especially knowing modern indie devs where they're trying to hat in time that put some trans flag in it for some reason. Doesn't need to be there. You don't need to do these stupid political stands. Just make a wholehearted, wholesome, heckin' big Chungus. It's not even a big Chungus Reddit game. It's just a kid's game. I don't want to paint the wrong picture. It's a fun kids game. I am a little upset, or I guess disappointed, to see that it appears to be going under the radar. It's sitting at 157 reviews on Steam with a 90% overall positive rating. Not Don't get me wrong, the game has some issues. Like, I think some of the collectibles, or I guess your coins, give more reason to collect coins, or perhaps give like space out collectibles better. It's really annoying when you have a bunch of important collectibles that are like 1/100th of a star spaced out a lot. It's a lot more satisfying to have clumps of them, you know, putting them all in a line or grouped up in a unique formation so you have to do some fun platforming jumps to just hit them all, or the ones where you have to do some skill shots with your swings to get them are really fun. Like, you can do better placement of the smaller collectibles to just get more fun and enjoyment out of them instead of, well, now you're gonna go over to this corner of the area and grab 4 of them that are just on the ground chilling. Something that I think is a little annoying or irritating is they put some time and effort to set up some speedrunning timers, which I've noticed this is a trend in more indie games lately, that they care about time trials and stuff. I mean, maybe they're just into speedrunning, so I kind of understand the value of trying to build a core structure internal to the game to enable the artists, because the artists will farm views for you. Like, it makes sense to me that it's being put into games. I don't know if I think it's a good idea to put them into games. I'll be honest, this game came out of nowhere. I did not find it on any of the demos. Steam randomly recommended it to me. I'm like, oh shit, a baby game. Oh shit, it's gonna hit the towers tomorrow. What the hell? And then I picked it up and it was surprisingly good, surprisingly fun. That's all I got. Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.